Damn, how did you get a death row from the 90s beat? If I had more confidence, I would terrible freestyle for you. But I don't have that.
I'm pretty sure that you have a way harder time getting through life than the average person, Ari. I don't know why anybody would listen to this. I know I won't.
Ari, your advice single-handedly broke up my marriage. You're an awful person.
You're 24 years old. Why would I listen to you? Why would you be giving therapy and advice to people who clearly need it? It doesn't make any sense, Ari. This is a horrible idea.
You're listening to
unlicensed
therapy with Ari Minhaj.
Sound kind of low quality.
What was that playing through?
Bluetooth, a Bluetooth adapter.
Dude, you're like a one-man Radio Shack.
Yeah. I do it all here.
Yeah.
Right here in the studio. This is a professional studio.
Do people
in
know
Hollywood.
the real story, or should I? I don't
Yeah,
want to
they
give
know.
away.
I
I don't want to give away the Hollywood magic.
No, they
If you
know.
hear cars whizzing by, there's a reason.
Right off Hollywood Boulevard,
Right
in a
up.
one-car
Yes,
garage.
you're like a good real estate agent. You make it sound, instead of we're in a garage right by the road, you go right off of Hollywood Boulevard. Like you're Byron Allen coming up.
Hey, not all of us could afford houses in the valley. Oh, yeah, you're not allowed to talk about
That's
it.
okay.
Yeah.
How dare you?
You're rich now, huh?
I'm not rich. I
Okay.
just I don't
You're good
spend a
with
lot
money.
of. I'm good at.
You're good at budgeting.
My big vice is probably like I don't cook. That's where I fuck up.
That's
like
where you spend the most money on
Yeah,
food.
but I don't buy anything else really. I mean, I still have a 2007 Mazda 3.
And you don't cook at all?
I'll do eggs. That's easy. Like
Eggs and toast for breakfast? Bacon?
scrambled eggs is so easy to do. You know what I mean? Like, and it's so cheap. Bang out breakfast. Like if you're gonna be one of those people who eat out all the time, at least just do breakfast.
What about
'Cause-
bacon strips? Fry
Well,
those up?
I don't do bacon. I do turkey bacon.
Oh, that's right. You're a
I had beef bacon for the first time.
Muslim.
I guess I'm a party Muslim.
What's a party Muslim?
It's a la carte.
What does that
Where you're
mean?
like, I like this. I like this.
Oh, you
I
pick
don't
and
like
choose
this.
the things you like.
Yeah. The cart comes by. And you're like, I'll take some of that. I'll take that. Yeah, I don't want that.
What about a sandwich? You ever cook yourself a turkey sandwich for lunch?
Cook. How do you cook that?
You
I think if you cook a sandwich,
Toast the bread.
That's about the only thing. you
panini? Do you have a panini press?
cook. One time I had I didn't have a George Foreman grill. I had like a Hamilton Beach one. It's the same shit, right?
Off-brand George Foreman. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of wanted that Foreman seal of approval, so I didn't know because he's a trusted name in grilling.
Yeah,
I don't
I'd
know,
say
like
so.
Hamilton Beach.
But
There's no boxers going to bat for this appliance.
But they've
so
been
I took a
around, too.
risk.
yeah.
Like if it was Oscar De La Hoya, I'd feel more comfortable about it. If it was like Sugar Ray Leonard or something, I'd be like, okay, I'm getting a quality product. But there's no boxers,
Under
not
Hamilton.
even a kickboxer attached to this thing that I bought.
Hamilton Beach. Zero.
Hamilton Beach.
Zero athletes.
Zero athletes.
How'd it hold up?
So it was risky. So I bought it, and you'll go through these phases where you use these things. Like I'm like, man, this is a game changer. Like, you want me to grill you on the Hamilton Beach? And like I never use it, But there was a time when I was like, I had this epiphany. I'm like, I can make paninis with this thing. So that would just be the final stop.
So you
on
do
the
have it?
sandwich. I do have it.
You could make a panini if you have
I could have a panini party. So it's nice to have that option.
Yeah, if you had company over at your home.
How funny! Like that's my idea of entertaining. Is everyone comfortable?
I
It's
have
panini
things-
time.
I would
What
be
kind of panini
impressed.
do you want?
I'd be impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
You go.
when
"He's really
people
weird.
come
He
over to my
invited us."
place, I offer to microwave meatballs.
That's kind of gross. Yeah. There's two bad words with that: microwave and meatballs. You're not even 1 for 2 with that proposition.
One time I offered it.
You're
they
like, hold on.
accept it.
Can I microwave you? Hold on, I'm not done yet. Meatballs
From
IKEA.
IKEA.
Ugh. Why is breakfast one of those meals where like you can't reheat anything? That's not a take-home food. Lunch you can take
No
home.
eggs. You
Yeah,
can't
who's reheating pancakes?
You don't want old toast?
You don't want to revisit breakfast. Breakfast is like one-night stand food.
I wonder why that is.
It's too volatile. Eggs.
You could maybe do eggs if you cook it up in a
That's
smoothie.
gross as fuck.
You mix it up with some fruit.
Like who?
In a
Dude,
blender?
imagine you were friends with someone, or maybe you're dating a girl, and then she like takes out a styrofoam and starts revisiting some hash browns and like half-eaten scrambled eggs.
Ooh, hash browns I could do.
Nah,
Not the
potatoes are one of those things too, where it's like potatoes revisited are never good. Fries are
especially if they're
soggy.
fried, yeah.
Like potatoes are like a fling in Paris.
I've never put this much thought into it, but you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And that's why you don't cook.
That's kind of why I came on here. I just wanted to set the record straight about what's reheatable.
Thanks for doing this podcast. I know that you're very
you.
picky about the things you do.
Yeah, I am. Wow,
Yeah.
how do you know that? Is that my MO?
I've just, it's like we're friends.
Yeah.
I've always felt like I come across as professional and put in
Should I take the
good-
label off?
good
Is
effort.
this bad? Are you
no,
like?
you can leave it on. Crystal Geyser is
Are you
an
sponsored by
unofficial-
Smart Water and this is like a faux pas?
Crystal Geyser is my unofficial sponsor.
Unofficial?
Yeah, they don't know they're sponsoring me yet, but they're gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always come across as a real pro. The things I do, at least I
For sure.
like to think I do.
I mean, look at this. I mean, when you open up the garage,
yeah. And then I ask you to do things sometimes, and then you question them.
I do question them. Yeah.
You're like, well,
you know why?
How's it going to be? What's it going to be?
I forget. Sometimes I forget how polished and professional and how 100 you do things. Like you're not an amateur. When you do something, you do it properly. You and
Yeah.
your brother. I was just driving over here and I was just thinking about like you and your brother are like really bright guys and you don't half-ass things and like
Thank you.
you're gonna go far in life.
Well, I doubt it, but I hope
I
so.
think so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank
you and Milan. Not everyone has like certain gears or. Some people you gotta like coax along and be like. That's why I ask these questions because when other people say, "Hey, can you do my show?"
Right.
And I have you've been burned
I
enough
understand.
times.
Yeah, when you
do
when you
stand
ask
up
to
for
do a
long
show-
enough. You go, "What's the venue? Who's gonna be there? Is there parking?" And sometimes they'd be like street parking. Yeah, there's street parking. Like even when you told me there's street parking here, I go,
We'll
is
see.
there really street parking, or is it one of those things where there's street parking, but it's like impossible.
Right.
And I'm circling. I've been
Yeah,
invited to do
you're
those
hesitant.
shows. Look, I'm at the point in my career. I've done that. I've done all this rigmarole. I don't need to do it anymore. I'm 17 years deep. If I'm doing you a solid by going to one of these, I'm not getting paid. It's like some bar show or whatever.
Right.
So if they say, yeah, there's street parking, and I go to this thing, because this has happened like once or twice, and I'm circling. It's like on Hollywood or whatever, and it's just there's no parking whatsoever. I circled 2-3 times, and then I just text. I go, I couldn't find parking. Bye.
You've done that?
I don't say bye, but I go, I couldn't find parking. I had to go do another spot,
Yeah.
and I leave. I don't need this spot. I'm not gonna pay for parking in a lot to do like a shitty
To do
show.
an unpaid spot.
If
Yeah.
I'm gonna do, I mean, I'm coming off as a prima donna, but I don't even understand the comedy scene in LA. Like, once you get to, like, I get up at the store all the time. I get up at the Improv. I get up at the Factory. I'll do these other shit. So it's like I have enough spots.
Yeah.
And if I'm doing, and I'm not getting paid to do this show, make it as easy as possible for me to pop in and do a spot.
Right.
But if you're a younger, like, there was a time when I was a younger comic and I had to find parking, and
You'll do whatever.
I cherish these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get it. I mean, the other day, 2 nights ago, I drove to Huntington Beach, which is 45 minutes.
Yeah, I would
at
do that.
10 o'clock at night. And
I used to drive to Santa Ana.
Yeah. I'm not above it. He says, do you want to headline my show? And it's at a bar. I didn't question it. I said,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That's
I would
almost an
love to.
oxymoron. Do you want to headline my show at a bar?
Yeah. But I thought maybe it'll be a decent bar show.
Yes. Maybe they'll turn the TVs off.
Maybe they'll turn their TVs
Best case
TVs
scenario,
off.
they turn the golden tea machine off.
I drive 45 minutes at 10 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
I park in the lot. I get in there. The TVs are on. The Dodger game is on, as well as another sporting event is playing at the same time. The stage has a guardrail over
So
the stage.
so
It's not a
it'll fall
stage.
off.
It's actually just a back pool area that is separate from the rest of the bar where you're standing on and everyone else is in the bar. People are talking in the back of the bar. There's no sort of regulation. No, hey, quiet down. We have a comedy show. Nothing. I get in the back. I'm pissed at this point,
Yeah.
but I had driven 45 minutes.
Yeah. You're already all in.
I'm already all in.
You're
So
invested. What are you going to do?
then I look at the lineup sheet. He has me down for 25 to 30 minutes of stand-up comedy.
What did you want, like 50? 45?
I wanted, in that crowd, maybe 5 if I have to do it.
Oh, hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Maybe 5 minutes.
Isn't it
At-
bizarre sometimes? I mean, get back to this, but like sometimes a guy will try to do stand-up comedy at a venue. Like, I guess he just loves stand-up so much, or this person.
Yeah, this
and
person
then
was so
they
nice.
don't understand how it works. And it's almost like, say I like basketball and I have a lot of money and I'm like, hey, LeBron, I want you to come do basketball at my party. And then LeBron shows up and there's no hoops. And he's like, where are the hoops? He's like, oh, you need hoops? I just saw you at Staples Center and I thought, yeah, okay, you need a ball? We can find, I think my son has a soccer.
Yeah.
That's how stand-up is. We're like, oh, you need a microphone?
Okay. Well, we could roll paper together and you could talk through the paper.
And then also, like, sometimes you'll do a show and maybe like 2 people show up and then they still want you to do the show and they still want you to do like an hour.
Yeah.
Because they're paying for this money. Instead of just packing it in and accepting that they fucked up and that, you know, what, everyone just go along with it and like, maybe next time. They just feel like they need to get some sort of value. Even though there's nothing, they'll be like, no, we're still going to do a show. And you have to do an hour. And even if you get off at like 45 or 50, they'll be like, the contract says you have to do an hour. Even though no one is enjoying this.
Yeah.
The audience isn't enjoying it. You as a performer aren't enjoying it. You as a booker aren't enjoying it.
No
and
one's
now it's
laughing.
just sort of like you're a taskmaster.
Yeah.
You have to do an hour. People have to be unentertained for an hour.
Maybe they're secretly hoping you get off early and they don't have to pay you.
I think at that point, they're just like so fucked. Like it's a Fyre Fest type deal. And they're just like, as long as he breaks the contract, I don't have to eat this money. That's why sometimes you do a shitty gig. I've done a shitty gig where like people are talking all that stuff. And I just keep on going through the motions, and whoever tunes in will get a show. Like, because you do it long enough, you realize that if you have a meltdown, you're not going to get paid. And the guy's just banking on you being like, shut the fuck up. Like if it's a corporate gig, you're like, you motherfuckers. Because then the guy will be like,
have you ever done that?
No. I'm there to get my money.
Yeah.
I'll have a smile on my face. Like, yeah. But so you saw the lineup and everything, and
25 minutes. I said to him right away. I walk up to him. I said, "Hey, thanks for having me. I'm not doing 25 minutes."
Nice.
I said,
"Are you getting paid or no?"
No. Or yeah, maybe, I think I was, but it was $20.
Okay. Yeah.
$30. It wasn't.
Sure, worth it.
It wasn't worth it. And I said, I'm gonna go up there and just see how it is. I might do 5 minutes. I might do 10 minutes, but I'll just get off when I'm done. And he was like, "That's totally cool."
That's nice.
Yeah.
It's a chill dude.
Yeah.
Some
and
people
then,
be like, I have you down. If you want $20.
if you want the $20.
I'm paying you more than $1 a minute. So at these rates, I need you to do.
What I am getting picky about is my podcasting. If someone asks me to do, there's just like stand up, everyone has a podcast now.
Podcasting is the new "Can you drive me to the airport?"
Is that bad?
A little bit. There's so many podcasts. Like, come do my podcast. Can you drive me to the airport? And before that, the analogy was, "Can you run lines with me?" Was the new "Can you drive me to the airport?" Isn't it funny with Uber and Lyft? If you ask someone to drive you to the airport, you're the biggest asshole in the world.
Yeah, it's like...
Whereas in the past, you needed to have a friend. Everyone had to have like a solid friend. Like, let's make a pact. I drive you to the airport.
You drive me.
You drive me. Okay? Pinkies?
I wouldn't even ask my wife to drive me to the airport, and I wouldn't expect my wife to ask me to pick her up from the airport.
It's just changed again. And my dad's a little old school. Like, I think one time he wanted me to pick him up from like... And people don't understand the geography of SoCal. Like, I was in K-Town. My dad is going to land in like John Wayne.
Santa Ana.
Yeah, like,
so that's
or
potentially
County. And then with
2
rush
hours,
hour
hour and a
shit,
half,
also
2
with
hours
people
away.
who don't know LA, they just look at Google Maps and they're like, yeah, that's pretty close. Like, they don't understand.
Yeah, they don't
traffic.
know if it's any time between 8 a.m. and 7 p.m.
So, and my dad didn't have to travel that far to his sister's house. And I go, yeah, it'd be like a really cheap Uber or Lyft. And anybody technologically hip would like understand and like super easy. It's not a big deal. But I think my dad took it as a huge slight. Kind of like...
That you didn't want to pick him up.
Or that he's my father.
Yeah.
And I should... So it's this weird like Middle Eastern old school thing where you just... Even though it makes no sense whatsoever, I have to go pick him up and drive him.
So to this day, next week, your dad's visiting town. You're picking him up from the airport.
Oh, yeah. And then also he's like, he doesn't trust Uber and like credit cards and smart. He still has a flip phone.
I refuse at this point. If my dad says, "Hey, I'm landing here. Can you pick me up?" I say, "It's 2019. You Uber. It's the same price."
Get backhanded. I can't do that.
But he doesn't support you. You don't have to be nice.
That's true. No, come on. You still do.
I'm not.
I guess you're a nicer person. You say, yes, sir, may I have another. You don't push back. He's your dad, okay?
No, but now here's what I get mad about the podcast.
Yeah.
I don't mind doing anyone's podcast. Mm-hmm. Who am I? I'm nobody. you're somebody,
I guess.
but still almost nobody. I'm
Thank you.
definitely nobody.
Right.
So I'll do anything anyone asks, right?
Sure.
But
You're
when
the Lil Wayne of podcasts. You'll hop on any track, right?
I'll hop on any track.
Yeah.
But when I show up and they have their phone out in the middle of the table,
Oh my God, I've done
and they're
that.
recording a podcast with their phone,
they don't even have equipment?
Now I ask ahead of time. I say, "Do you have individual? Are we sharing a microphone?
You're like, what's your rig?
What's your rig?" And if they say, "Oh, I put a microphone in the middle and we talk in the mic," I go, "No, I'm not doing it. We
Yeah,
need our
that's
we need
smart.
our own microphones. They need to be dynamic. You need to have a little
Ooh,
tiny
I
bit
like
of
how
quality.
you ask if they're dynamic.
They need to be dynamic microphones.
I haven't taken it that far.
Yeah, and if
Sorry,
they're
that's
not,
me.
I don't do it. Or if someone says, "Hey, will you do a phone-in podcast?"
Like it's
Will you call in?
like it's a Zoo Crew morning show.
Yeah.
Ari Manis
calling in from Los Angeles.
up, guys?
Not doing it.
Yeah,
So that's my podcast standard. I just
I
need
think
to
those are
be
good
in
standards.
person. Because what if someone searches you for the first time,
Mm-hmm.
Fahim Anwar,
Yeah.
and they hear
That's
an
what they hear?
hour of you talking into someone's cell phone? They're not going to listen to anything else you ever do.
And then they're like, I like this, but is there anything with dynamic audio?
Yeah.
I mean, this mono's pretty good, but
It's a
slap some
standard.
dynamic on it.
I need a
This
standard.
guy's a star.
You know, I also have a standard where I normally don't allow guests in with sweatpants. But
Well, you caught me, I forgot that I had this. And then your producer, I was supposed to do it at 1 p.m. and I'm out and about. And he's like, can you come in? And so, I mean, look, I don't dress like this all the time.
I'm just kidding.
I also don't love the gray.
I actually think those are pretty form-fitting
Really?
sweatpants. They look
Hey,
pretty
thanks,
good
man.
on you.
Yeah, I got them. They're like kind of like, I never wear them.
Have you ever gotten a girl from your
For my
dance
sweatpants?
videos
From the dance videos?
on Instagram?
No. Although, this dancing thing is such an odd.
Girls like a guy who could dance,
It sounds like such a stereotype, though. You know what I mean?
but they do.
I guess. Why? Why is that?
Have you ever gotten a
But
DM
understand-
from a girl from those dance videos that said like "hot"? That's hot.
Yeah. I've gotten that.
Wow.
I mean, not all the time, but yeah, there are some girls who like dancing and stuff.
Wow.
But here's the trouble with
You're a
like,
hero.
I guess. Yeah, being able to dance. Like I've talked about this before. Where. What do you do with that? Like, sure, I'll do these fun videos on Instagram. Like, if I really like a song, I'll do like a little dance on Instagram. Just pass the time, whatever. It's content, and like I guess I can dance. And it's fun to do. So I'll do it that way. Like I've always danced just for like
For fun.
comedy, or for
Comedy.
filming
Yeah.
or comedy. Yeah, like it's always like applied itself in art or whatever type of art I'm doing.
Yeah.
I never go to the club. I have no desire to go to the club and dance. And also,
Neither do I.
whenever guys are always so jealous, like, oh man, you could dance. Like, oh, you must get laid all the time with the dancing. I'm like, not really, because like, how do you apply that in the real world? Here's the thing, like, if I go to a club,
You'd have to go to a club. Yeah.
okay, but also if I go to the club, what are there are a few iterations, and all of them are sad. Being able to dance. Okay, so there's a girl, I just start dancing with her by myself. That's
Yeah.
fucking weird. Okay,
Is it?
I think
That's
so.
what you're supposed to do.
Nah, man.
You're not
So
supposed
there's
to
a
go
group of-
up
there's
to
a
a
group
drunk
of-
girl and just pick her out and say, "You and me, we're dancing."
That just seems
I don't-
like
I've never
it
danced,
seems
so I
cheesy
don't
as
know.
fuck. I have no idea.
Okay.
I don't know what that play is. Just a complete stranger, like you're a fucking Sims character. You just walk up to them and then
Yeah. I thought that's what you were supposed
like,
to do.
like it's Second Life.
In my
I
fantasy
just
of
have an
people
Ed
who
Hardy
dance,
shirt, and I just, and then they're not into it, and then I just go to the other corner of the room.
in my fantasy of people who dance, I thought that's what they did.
Yeah, look, everyone has this cinematic version of being able to dance because they've seen it in the movies, and that's how it plays out in real life. But
Yeah.
I'm trying to apply logic
Okay.
and actual logistics to how this would pan out. All right, so number one is the Sims scenario where I'm a stranger, she's a stranger, and I just hope that she's into that. All right, so that's
You got to be drunk, I think, for that scenario to work.
probably, I guess, yeah.
Both parties have
Yeah.
to be a little drunk.
Yeah, no one's sober and this is working.
Yeah.
So there's that. So okay, then the other version is, what's the other version? Like, okay,
You go with someone you know, maybe?
you go with somebody, but then what's the point?
Yeah,
you go with
why?
someone,
Yeah,
like
why?
then she's already there with you.
Because she likes to dance, but you're like,
That's
I
a
don't
weird
wanna
thing.
dance.
But just picking up a complete stranger, you know what I mean? Oh yeah.
It's
So
hard.
here's the thing, like, all right, so that's the Sims version, and then the other version is like, I just want to say I'm peacocking, and I'm just by myself at the club. And I just find an open space and I just start going at it and just hope that like a circle forms. And then you're the guy who's just busting by himself.
Okay.
And then that's weird. That's weird as fuck. A guy by himself?
Yeah. You don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100%. I've never liked dancing. Not even as, I mean, I've seen some cool dance videos on the internet.
How can you not like dancing?
Like when I watch some videos of you dancing, I go, that's cool.
Sure.
But the idea of going to a place, even at a wedding.
Here's the thing. I can dance, and I share the same view as you. I don't like dancing in... You know, the only way I'll dance and enjoy it is if it's like a dance party's breaking out. Like, it's got to be a lot. Like, everyone is collectively going in on this. If it's just a few people on the dance floor, I'm not that guy.
Yeah, but I not only am I not that guy, I literally cannot comprehend why someone would be that guy or girl. Why does some people say, hey, tonight let's go to Hyde?
Oh, I don't get that at all, dude.
But I don't get it. But it's we're the weird ones. So many people love that. And I just I can't even wrap my head around why someone else would like it.
I just think...
Have you figured out why other people like it?
Okay, first of all, I think in your 20s, you're just predisposed to thinking that is fun, or that's what you're supposed to do. So there's a decade of your life where you've just been programmed to think like you see enough movies and music videos and shit, and even if you're not that person, you think you are that person, or you have amnesia, you have club amnesia. You'll have a terrible time, enough time will pass and be like, let's go to the club. You're like, yeah. Or you think you'll have this skill set that you don't have. I'm speaking as like a former engineer or whatever, so like that was never going to be the lane for me. That's not how I operate.
Right.
I'm not good in that setting. But I think there are some guys who probably clean up the club, or they do really
there,
well.
for sure.
And that's why they love the club.
They like it.
And maybe there are some girls as well who like enjoy the club atmosphere because they have a good time, and it caters to their personality
of not being able to talk.
Of not being, or maybe
being dumb.
I don't know. Some people are suave and shit, and some people are good at like, all I have are my words. I'm a fucking comedian. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like saying, hey, Superman, there's this club with tons of hot chicks. They're all dimes. There's kryptonite there, but there's dimes. And Superman's like, well, I don't know. The kryptonite is good. He's like, but you don't understand. They're so hot, Superman. So what's the point of Superman going to this club with dimes when there's kryptonite? Like, he can't do his thing there.
Yeah.
All his powers are gone.
That's how we feel.
Well, as a comedian,
yeah.
What am I gonna,
That's
words
true.
are my strength. What am I gonna do at a club?
Nothing.
Sims. I should have
I can't
Sims,
do
dude.
it. But if I was good at dancing, I still wouldn't like the club, but I would be better at the club. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Here,
Because I'm not even comfortable to dance. I'm uncomfortable. If someone's like, your turn to dance, I'd be like,
because that's how
no.
dancing normally works. Someone dances, and then they point to the next person. They go, all right, your turn to dance.
Or if
like it's bowling. All right, you're up.
Or have you ever just been out at a bar with a group and they're just like, okay, we're going dancing. For me, whenever that happens, I walk away.
Mm-hmm. You always
Or
pretend
I
you have
stand
diarrhea.
there uncomfortable. Or I get shit-faced so that I don't care.
Right.
But it's
Maybe that's the move.
Yeah, that might be the move.
Oh, yeah. Here's another scenario for like, how does the dancing work? So you go with your friends, let's say, right? Because a lot of like your boys will be like, let's go to the club.
Yeah.
Are you and your boys dancing? Then that's weird.
Or at least it's not what you guys envisioned when you said, let's go to the club.
Yeah.
At the minimum, it's not what anyone wanted.
I mean, obviously, I'm overthinking it for anybody who does go to the club, and like, it's not an issue. Where I'm like Doctor Strange, just playing out infinite scenarios of how it goes down.
Anyone personally who I know that, or who I don't know that likes going to a nightclub and dancing, will probably never be my friend.
I think it's a good rule of thumb.
Yeah, and not because I won't be friends with them. I just think we wouldn't be compatible in any facet of life. But I could be wrong. Someone prove me wrong. Someone be my friend who likes going clubbing.
Yeah, I don't know.
They wouldn't. And no one who likes going clubbing would listen to a comedy podcast.
I think that's a good. Yeah, that's pretty.
How many Joe Rogan listeners even go to nightclubs and go dancing? He has millions of listeners.
True. Bouncers. Bouncers probably.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Nightclub bouncers. There it is. Have you heard my podcast before?
Have I? Didn't I do yours once? Did I do this one or a different one?
Never this one.
What was the other one?
me and Lenoci had a podcast many moons ago, like probably six years ago, and it was called Late Night in Hollywood.
Same
you came
location?
You came over to my studio apartment. And we just
yeah,
talked.
I think I did that one.
You did that one.
Yeah.
But this is Unlicensed Therapy with me, your host, Ari Manna.
It's cool to see how far you've come, you know?
Really far.
Like, I remember when you didn't have a garage
Didn't
to
have
do
a
it
garage?
in. You didn't
Now I
have
have
a plant.
Garage, two fake plants, mosquitoes.
And you're on Hollywood Boulevard.
Off Hollywood Boulevard. But the premise to this podcast is that I am an expert in everything.
That makes sense.
Which you know to be true.
Right. That's kind of,
Almost everything, except for dancing.
Yeah, that's your only Achilles heel.
That's my kryptonite is dancing. I could help you with any problems in your life.
Well, really?
Yeah, if you have any issues, and everyone's got problems. There's nothing. It's nothing to be ashamed of.
Right.
Jay-Z has problems.
Yeah, how many does he have?
99.
50
Cent.
There's one he doesn't have, though. What's the one he doesn't have?
You're testing my pop culture again.
I am? No,
And
I really don't know. He has one problem that's not a problem. I know he has 99 problems, obviously.
Oh.
Everyone knows that.
Oh.
But there's...
The bitch.
That's right. Yeah, he has no problems with it.
He has no problems
Is
with
it
that.
one bitch or is it just bitches plural?
But
like bitches is a concept.
Bitches ain't one. Is it say bitches or bitch?
So he has 99 problems.
But a bitch ain't one, or but bitches ain't one.
But a bitch ain't
But
one.
a bitch ain't one. So it's one bitch.
So when he says a bitch,
His bitch ain't
that's
one.
just sort of like all-encompassing bitches. That's not like one bitch. Right?
Well, I'm having him on the podcast next week.
That'd be good to clear it up.
That
like,
should be the first. That might even be question number one.
Yeah, you'd be like, obviously, you know why I have you on the pod. But I think a bigger question is, what are the 99 problems?
I got 99 problems.
You know, because we're all so focused on the bitch, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Because we're celebrating that that's not a problem he has, where that's a problem for a lot of guys, you know, myself included. I think, like, it's very hard to understand.
How many
bitches.
women have you been with total in your life?
I don't.
Is that too
I don't
personal?
kiss and tell, man.
Smart.
Yeah.
How many
fucking tell?
Have
98.
have you kissed over 10 girls on the lips
Today,
today?
if I had sunglasses, that'd be a good time to put them on. Today.
I've kissed over 10. I'm willing to share that.
Whoa.
With the listeners and with you.
Damn.
I've kissed over 10 girls.
Wilt Chamberlain over here.
Is he good with them? Girls?
Oh my. Man, you're so devoid of pop culture knowledge.
Well, I know he's a basketball
Are you
player, right?
Brendan Fraser from Encino Man?
Was he void?
Oh
of
my
it?
God! Like even
That
wow.
movie I saw when I was a kid.
I'm trying.
And I opened for the
I'm
Weasel.
trying to diss you about your lack of knowledge of pop culture with a pop culture reference, and that went over your head. Even that was beautiful. There's no better answer you could have given to me slamming you with Brendan Fraser from Encino Man.
Do you think if I improved my pop culture knowledge, it would make me a better comedian?
For sure. For sure. But I mean, look, if you're not wired that way, you're not built that way, there's no point in... You just got to lean into your core competencies.
No,
So
but
it would make no sense trying to like
But if
read
it-
up on pop culture.
But if it would improve my stand-up,
I don't think so, because I think you do a different thing, and it's not so reliant on pop culture. Like, I'll say things just because I'm already thinking of it. So it's nothing to me. But if you don't have those memories...
Wilt Chamberlain's a basketball player.
Yeah, and he's notorious for fucking a ton of women. Like,
And
threw
did
out
he
some
have
number out
HIV
there.
or anything like that?
Believe it or not, no.
He's clean?
Yeah,
Good for him.
yeah. For all we know.
Good for him. So I could help you
Hmm.
with any problems you have.
I mean, I really wish you would have prepped me with, because it's hard to come up with right here on the spot. What my
I should have
problem
Marco
is.
Polo prep the guest.
Yeah, you should have.
I need to talk to
Well,
him about
what do you
that.
do if I got dude?
Listen,
That's a huge faux pas. You're like, I got my producer, he's doing everything, and he forgot to
forgot to tell you what
mention
the podcast
the
is?
crux.
Well, I just assumed as a professional you would have done your research.
Yeah, I would have dug into the archives and just listened to every. How many episodes have you had?
Like 60.
Yeah. I'm just put them on like times 10, and I'm just just speed listening. I cancel all my appointments. Like, I have to know. I can't go in cold.
Everyone's got issues. Even if you have to think about it right now.
True.
It's like,
Issues.
it doesn't even matter if you're brown, if you're white, if you're man, if you're trans.
Right.
They all got issues.
That sounds like it's a good song.
Yeah, that's the premise to my podcast. Doesn't matter.
It's like Black or White 2.0.
If you're black or white.
It don't matter if you get a dick or a vagina or a mesh of
This
both.
is a real song?
No. But you know Michael Jackson, he only touched on it don't matter if you're black or white.
Mm-hmm.
That's back when the U.S. was black and white.
Right.
We were so focused on race. But now genitals are thrown into the mix.
Other races?
Other races, how you identify. You may have a penis, but don't identify. So there's a lot of things going on.
Lately, I've been identifying with a penis.
Yeah. What was it before?
Yeah, I went through phases.
A phase.
Yeah, phases. But lately, I've been just back to like, I'm a man.
Uh-huh.
I'm an American man.
Yeah, it's cool to have options.
I'm a white guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm back to white guy.
Man, my problems.
Take a minute. Close your eyes. I see him. I see the problems coming up at the top of your brain right now.
Interesting.
I see him passing through. Which one are you going to pick?
My
Maybe you're too
problems,
connected.
Yeah, maybe there's some of that.
Too tied to...
You know,
too
one
tied
thing
to
I've
your
noticed
phone?
is like when you're not in a relationship anymore, like there is no such thing as on your phone too much.
Right. Who's going to call you out for that?
You got no police.
Especially when you're home alone.
Oh, what else are you going to do?
That's it. What, are you
But
going to
also,
read a
I think
book?
phones get a bad rap. Like, people are on the phones all the time. It's like having a newspaper on you at all the times. Look at any old photo. Everyone's reading the newspaper on the train. We just have the technology to have the newspaper. It's like you have everything in the world on this.
Yeah.
Why are we...
Trying to take that away from people.
I get like, what? You just want him to stare at the back of the seat of the bus? Is that better?
I want to read
Yeah.
on my phone.
You don't know what he's like. Maybe he's enriching himself and like learning a ton of, you know.
Maybe he's writing a novel.
I just think the phone is so vilified. Like, look, obviously you want to be able to, when you're having a conversation with someone, like
That's what it
to
is.
know. Yeah.
It's people, you know, the classic, we're at a diner together and all of us
What,
are
you're just
on
on your
their
phone?
phones. But that's
But
how I gauge...
hold on.
if some-
You know what's great though? When you have such a deep connection and friendship with someone where you could both be on your phones.
That's what I was thinking.
That's
my
true
best
love.
friends and I
It's almost
go
like
on our phones together.
when you go to eat with someone, like lunch or dinner, and you like barely talk the entire time, and no one's weirded out by it. Like if you can eat in silence with someone, that's true love or friendship. If you got to be like,
That's bestie.
oh, what else? What, you don't want to talk, or if you could be comfortable in the silence,
Right.
you're solid.
Mm-hmm.
Or people go like, oh, this is this is weird. No, it's not.
It's not weird at all.
You've
Get
got
out.
something.
Get
yeah,
out of here.
Yeah.
You out. You're out of the group.
Right. And
We're
I've also
we're a
noticed,
phone group.
you know who complains about people who are on their phones too much? People whose phones died. Everyone's just like that, and then their phone dies. And you're like, everyone's on their phone.
Why aren't you?
Oh,
I left
you
it
got a
in the
charger?
car.
Oh,
I left my phone in the car.
yeah. And then what's up with people whose phones are always dead? What are you?
They're on old. They're poor. Those are poor people.
No, there's people with iPhones and their phones always die.
Old iPhones.
They don't. Here's the thing. In this day and age, your phone should never die. Get a battery case. So it's a case and a battery.
Uh-huh.
Have a power brick. It's not that hard.
I set a rule for myself not to do that. I'm like, if I can't make this top of the line phone last me,
Hey,
long
whatever
enough,
you need to do.
then I am
all
on
right.
it
If it's
too
a
much.
willpower thing,
Yeah.
sure. But if it's always dying, fix the problem. It's not a problem. It's sort of like people who were like, "Oh, I don't own a car. I don't." And then they just have everyone drive them everywhere.
Right.
Hey, can I get a? You're doing it wrong. If you don't have a car, don't be a burden as well. Ride a bike. Take the bus. Don't hit everybody up for rides.
I think you're gonna be a good dad.
Really, I think so too.
You just instill all these opinions in your kid.
yeah.
Your kid's gonna be annoying, but grow up cool.
He's gonna
still.
know. He's gonna know the
He'll get it.
rules.
He'll know the rules.
There's nothing
of
worse
life.
than an eco-friendly guy who's just like, "Oh, you're just gonna get into my gas guzzler? Okay, cool."
Well, at least it's carpooling.
Not really. It's just a burden.
So no problems in your life. Your life's just perfect.
No, it's not. It's not perfect.
Your life's just peachy keen.
I mean, compared to other people, I would. It's people have some like serious issues and stuff like that. Like, I've got first world problems, I guess.
What's the biggest one?
What's the biggest one? I don't know. I guess I like work like career and then personal life balance. That's always how much is too much. You know what I mean?
How do you go about?
How much is too much, and then also there's like career wants and stuff.
Yeah, that one's normal. That one everyone's got. The career
Sure, and that'll
ones.
never end. And that's
Yeah.
kind of refreshing to learn that you'll have, you go to dinner and stuff with the like bigger comics, and then like, oh fuck, it never ends.
They're still complaining.
Yeah.
Do you think if you took your shirt off in the dance videos that it would multiply?
What if,
the
like-
female comments?
What if after this podcast you see the advice you've given me implemented into my Instagram? You see all these like shirtless dance videos in my kitchen.
I think it would help. Even if you don't have a good body, it's like confidence.
True. Yeah.
I posted a video of me in proposing to a woman. Did you see that?
Oh yeah. So what's the backstory there? You do it in every city?
The backstory. That was the first one.
Where was it?
This was in Vancouver.
Okay.
And I did a show.
And then who was this woman? Just
She was at the show.
Perfect.
And I just said, hey, what would you think if I just proposed to you right here and made a scene? And I said it like as
a joke?
As a joke,
Yeah.
or I don't know why I said it, not thinking she would
Be down.
be down. And then she goes, do it. Like, you have to do it. Do it right now. She like, then she made, I didn't even want to do it. And she kind of
how
pressured
funny.
me into doing
Yeah.
it. So I went to the staff. I got a ring from her friend. I went to the staff and told them to turn down the music on my cue. And I like made, it was a crowded bar on a weekend.
Yeah.
And I turned down the music and I got on one knee and I did some bullshit speech.
Sure, yeah.
And she was an amazing actress, by the way. She like put her hand over her face like she was crying. She said yes. We made out. In the end, that's what I did it for. Was for the makeout.
For sure.
Yeah, I was
Did
like,
you know that? I mean, yeah, that'd be weird if she didn't.
yeah, like she said
Then
yes,
everyone
but
would be
then
like,
we
it's
didn't kiss.
fake.
The funniest part of the whole thing was you could hear a guy in the background as it's going, and it looks so even to me when I watch it, I'm like, this
Yeah.
looks so real.
He knows this bullshit?
No, but you could hear a guy in the background goes, but why at a bar though? And it's so
like-
funny.
Like he's just having an existential crisis at this bar. Like everyone's
Celebrating.
And
Yeah, he goes, why at a bar?
bar though?
And it's so funny, but I also think, what a dick. Like, what if that was real?
That's a good point. They don't know the history. Maybe
What
you
if we
first
met there?
Yeah.
What if we met at the bar? He doesn't know. So I can't help but laugh, but I also think that guy's probably a big dick.
Yeah, he ruined your moment.
Yeah, he ruined. What
Albeit fake, he ruined it.
if I'm playing that for my kids, for our kids?
Why at a bar? You have to take it to audio guys. You go, can you scrub the why at a bar though?
Yeah,
It just kind of ruins the moment.
it just ruins the moment.
For
And I was thinking about doing that every city.
you should.
I want to do
Why
it
not?
next time with a man.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. You
Yeah.
could switch it up. You could
Yeah.
get some really odd looking people. Like, why are these people like getting married? Like, how did they even meet? I think it's
Yeah.
good to do.
Oh, you mean not even myself? Just get other people to.
No, I'm talking about you. Like,
Me
it'll-
and odd
yeah, just like it'll be fun. You're like, look, if it's like another white girl or whatever, that's not odd. But if it's like,
Right. It has to. It almost has to be different.
it's like
each time.
you and like a 6'5" black woman, and then
Yeah.
maybe it's like a little person at the next city, and then it can get really weird.
Yeah, that's comedy.
Because
gold right
love
there.
knows no shape or size.
Not in 2019.
Not in
Back in the
2019.
day, it would.
Yeah,
Back in the day, whites married whites.
back in the good old days. But yeah, sometimes I think like if it weren't for comedy, I don't know how I would meet people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's lonely.
sure.
It can be.
Yeah.
What do you do after a killer show
Mm-hmm.
when you were headlining? You just did an hour, and you rocked it, and then
I get off stage and I decompress in the green room, and I go, "You rocked it."
and then
Time to meet your public.
Yeah, and then you're still stuck in that city for a whole night
Mm-hmm.
with nothing to do. What's your go-to activity?
Well, ideally, that's why it's great that like Santino or Theo will take you on the road. So then you have someone to hang out with. Sometimes
Yeah.
I'll go to these cities and I got nothing to do.
What'd you do when you were in Vegas?
Vegas was like the worst, dude.
When you were at Jimmy Kimmel Comedy Club?
Uh-huh.
What'd you do after the shows?
The shows are fine,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
It's fun. Like the shows that's the
Yeah,
easiest
they were
part of
fun.
it. But it's just watching paint dry. And Vegas is not a go by yourself city.
No, Vegas is horrible. It's like that nightclub thing we were talking. All
Vegas is
compressed.
it's like a cruise. Well, at least the shows, it's like a cruise ship on land. You've got to be everything to everybody because it's everyone's vacation destination. You get red states, blue states, so it's this weird Frankenstein of an audience. There's no identity. Like even if you do, I don't know, Omaha, Nebraska, albeit it's different from a blue state or anything, at least there's a thumbprint. There's an identity. But when you have a guy from Tennessee, a guy from New York, a guy. It's just weird hodgepodge of people, and there's no consistency to the shows and crowds.
But what did you do after the shows?
What would I do? I mean, thank God, like Rick Glassman and Esther were there for one night or 2 nights.
They were the feature and host?
No, they just happened. The thing about
they were
Vegas
just
is
in
like
Vegas. There's always comedians there.
There's always comedians there, and you can
Yeah.
like link up with other people who happen to be there. It's sort of like how New York is as
Yeah.
well. You'll usually know some people who are there. But I'll just walk around. I would look forward to my meals. I'm like, at least there's some decent food around here. I got some work done. But yeah, it's nothing.
That's it. So you didn't do anything.
I didn't really do anything.
Yeah. You didn't
What am I
go-
gonna? I'm gonna zip line by myself. I don't gamble.
Did you spend $1 on gambling? Did you
No.
You didn't even put...
My
you didn't
brother
play one
actually,
hand?
he wanted me to put money on the Portland Trailblazers game, so I did that for him. And he's like, "Do you want to go half on this?" And I'm like, "No, I don't want."
Did he win?
No.
So you made the right
So
decision
he-
not going half.
He lost $500.
500? That's a big... What's
Yeah,
he
man.
do for work?
He's a dentist, baby.
Oh, okay, he has that dentist money. We could do the 500.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he had to like pull out some more teeth. He told the guy that he had to pull some more teeth just to make up for that bet. The guy didn't even need his teeth pulled, but he had to like.
he just said, "Hey, I think this tooth
Yeah.
is fine, but I could see it."
He's like, "Nah,
happening."
we definitely need to take these ones out too."
Yeah, I'd recommend. You don't have to take him out, but I'd recommend it.
Right.
Yeah, and they're like, "Okay, if you'd recommend it."
And I do. I definitely do. Just all his patients have no teeth because he's.
Your brother gets his dentist license taken away because of this podcast.
No, that's not true, guys. He's a good dentist.
He's
The best. He works on me. Come on.
Not
Look at
bad.
these results.
Okay, you have a lot of comedy accomplishments.
I do.
You're living your dreams.
You know what's tough is you live with you all the time and you're in your own head all the time. Not in a bad way, but like it's sort of like when you don't see someone for a long time and they go, "Oh, you're different." And you go, "Oh, I don't know." Because you look at yourself
Right.
every day. You don't
don't
I'm
realize
too
all the
close,
things
I'm
you've
too close to
accomplished.
my own career.
But in my
to,
opinion, you've done a lot of things.
Mhm.
What of all the things you've done, what would you consider your biggest
Besides
failure
this podcast.
besides this podcast?
Yeah, this is my biggest failure.
After this.
The one that you and Lenoci did. No, my biggest failure?
What of all the things you've done, I don't want to say, it doesn't necessarily have to be a regret, but it can be.
Uh-huh.
Like, what comedy thing have you done where I go, I wish I didn't do that?
Comedy
Anything?
thing.
And maybe you have nothing. Or it could be this. What is something you were so close to getting, but maybe didn't get? Maybe you flopped an audition, and you're like, "Man, I wish I did better at that audition." Like, what's the biggest disappointment? What's your biggest disappointment?
Let's see. All right, I'll give you.
Or mistake?
I'll tell you 3 things I'm thinking of. So one, Community. I tested for Community.
Okay.
You know, on NBC.
Yeah.
So I got really far on that.
Okay.
And then for that role of Abed. So
Okay.
I didn't get that. I was still working at Boeing at the time.
Okay. Oh, this is a long time
And this was my
ago.
first time. It was like my first kind of like brush with this stuff. And then they're working out your test deal and stuff. So that means, you know, before you go in for the audition or for like the final audition, it was between me and 4 other people. So they work out your test deal, the lawyers and everything. So how much you would get paid per episode if you are the guy they pick.
Uh-huh.
And they do that so that you're locked in to the deal so that you don't hold them over a barrel.
Right.
If you're the guy and the deal's not worked out and you go, "No, I want this much now. I want this
Yeah.
much." So everyone works out their deal and then they go into audition.
Right.
So that it's locked in if you're chosen. So I didn't get it. That doesn't burn. I mean, it sucks for like 3 hours and I'm a pretty rational guy. Like I get over things. It was never mine to begin with. That's what you learn.
Right.
Sometimes you might get close on a project.
You didn't walk in thinking, "I got this." You walked in thinking, "I hope I get this."
Yeah. I think that's
some people don't. Some people walked in and they go, "I got this,"
I
and
guess,
they walk out and they go,
maybe they need
"That
to
is
tell
mine."
themselves that.
Yeah.
Like some people have that killer mentality, like Kobe gene or whatever, where they're like,
Yeah.
"This is mine." They got to rip it away from me. I was made for the stars have aligned.
Yeah.
God chose me to have this role. You know, like I'm perfect. I'm not like my mantra is just sort of like I'm going to do my best. I'm good at what I do. I'll do my best. Hopefully it works out. Whoever gets it will be the right person for this job. I think that's a healthy way of looking at it.
Right.
I don't need to like mental gymnastic my way into like doing my best. Like, no, this is mine. You're this role.
So that is
So whatever. I went in there. I did me. So didn't get that. Oh yeah. So then like after 3 hours, I'm like, okay, it was never mine to begin with, and because when you're in it, you feel like, oh man, because it was my first time, and you go through the. I guess it's not a good path to go down where you're like, I'll be making this much, and then you start fantasizing
what your life is going to be
like.
I'm going to be passed at every club.
Yeah,
quit at Boeing.
And once you've been in entertainment long enough, you just get you get way more no's and you get yeses. You just learn to be good at what you do. Take the lotto tickets, like for these auditions or whatever. Do your best. If it works out, great. Be pleasantly surprised if something does. Don't believe it until it happens. Yeah. Don't ever get too emotionally invested.
Right.
Believe it after it's done. Believe it when you see it. It's just a way better way to live. And then there was this other time. So there's 2 auditions that like probably top worst auditions I ever did. One of them I was commercial auditioning. I'm not good at commercial auditions. I stopped going on them a while ago.
You just said I'm not doing these.
I just
anymore.
told my people, I go like, and because you have to drive to Santa Monica.
But didn't you book a couple of them?
No, just one.
Oh, one. Okay, well,
just one Wendy's commercial a long time ago.
That's still.
Nah, not given like to go out
Wasn't
on this many
enough?
commercials.
Yeah.
No, that's not good.
Was it a good check for the Wendy's one?
Not really. It was okay.
30?
Sure. No, not
30K?
even. It was a
10?
regional. It wasn't even a national.
10K?
No,
5.
around that, something like that.
Okay.
So, for commercial auditions, you're always driving to Santa Monica with rush hour.
Right.
And it's just
It takes up half your day.
To be a commercial actor in Hollywood, it's just like, do you have a car? Like, how much are you willing to drive? If I taught a commercial acting class, I would say, how much are you willing to drive? That is the difference between
because I can get
booking
you auditions in San Diego
and not booking. Do you have any acting notes? No.
drive fast.
Just drive.
Get there on time.
Get to all the auditions.
Yeah.
So there's this one Ford audition, and then I hate when there's so much dialogue. I would love, sometimes I see a commercial and there's a guy who just like gives a look. I want that. I don't want to talk in these commercials.
You had lines.
Dude, there were so many lines in this Ford commercial. It's crazy. So I go in there, and I'm trying to do the lines because there's like so many, and then I'm fucking it up, and then I'm like, let me, and you probably get like 2 or 3 resets, let's say, and then my brain couldn't do it, and it wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah.
And then I just go, I'm sorry, guys, and then I just left because it wasn't gonna happen. Like how long?
Yeah.
How long am I gonna be like?
You're not gonna
hold on, guys.
The only thing you could have done, maybe, but it's like it's not worth it. Is maybe you could have been like, "Can I come back in like 3 hours?" And just.
But not even. There's no point. But there's something very refreshing about an actor just packing it in and understanding. Like, look, let's just save everyone some time here. Where I'm like, it's got torque and more tire. All right, I'm sorry, guys.
So you walked out and then I just walked out. Okay.
Yeah.
And then it didn't get back to your agent or anything.
I don't know. Maybe it did.
Didn't matter.
Who knows? Yeah, whatever.
I mean, did you have one more? You said you had a third.
Oh yeah, there's this one. I kind of had another one of those where it was for this. I think it was for Disjointed on Netflix.
Okay.
Chris Redd had that.
Yeah.
It wasn't that part. It was some other part. And this one sucked because I think Norman Lear was behind it, and he's a TV legend. He did All in the Family. He did.
Yeah, he's a man.
He's done a ton of stuff. So, icon, and he's
kind
pretty
of
old
excited
now.
about the project.
I'm just excited about him, and so I'm going in and I'm reading like he's in. I guess I got fast tracked pretty late into the process or whatever. So it's like a producer session or like a director session or something like that. So he's in the audience and I'm trying to do it, and I'm having I just can't get through the lines. So sometimes it doesn't happen a lot, but it's happened like with the Ford thing and then this, where it's just I can't. It's just a bad audition, and I'm just like eating shit, or I just can't get the words out, and then like whatever. They're like, "Thank you," and everyone just knows it's garbage.
Yeah.
And I leave, and then in my mind, I'm like, "Oh, that's cool that I got to eat shit in front of a legend before he dies." You know what I mean? Because he doesn't have a lot of time left.
You just walked out feeling bad about yourself.
90. I mean, I got over it.
Sure.
I laughed about it,
But that day, you walk out going, "Damn."
Because it's one thing to do that to just like a casting director or whatever, and like whatever, who cares? Like, or a casting assistant. but to like Norman Lear. But these things you learn in life, no one remembers bad shit. You are you, so you dwell on these things. I mean, I don't even dwell on it anymore, but just an observation is because it's you, you think about it more than the other person, whereas like he would never even remember it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he forgot about you two auditions later. He forgot about you. You could audition for him right now and he wouldn't remember your bad audition.
Right. Yeah, but I mean, I have more good auditions than bad,
Yeah.
but those are just two like titans where I'm like, wow, those are really bad.
Those are the fun ones to hear about, I think.
Well, Bobby will tell those stories too. I think people need to hear it because there are actors you like, and it's just refreshing to hear everyone. No one is perfect. No one bats 1,000.
Right.
And you're gonna have those.
When I first moved to LA, I went through the whole, like right when I got here, I was like, I need to get headshots.
Mm-hmm.
I need to look for an agent, a manager. I went through that process, even though I came here for stand-up, but I was like, that whatever. So I got this commercial agent from just cold emailing commercial agents, and I got an commercial audition within the first week, and I'm like, I've been in LA 2 weeks. I got a commercial agent, a commercial audition. Shit's happening, right? So I read it, and it says like athletic jock type, UFC, and I'm going, okay, I don't think of myself as that, but I guess I'm kind of athletic.
I'm versatile.
Yeah, like I'm skinny, I'm fit. I played sports in high school. Maybe that's, new age athletic. Audition, like you said, is in Santa Monica. So I drive literally over an hour to get there in traffic. Paid for parking somewhere. Probably
now
like
you're really invested.
$6 to go to this. I'm just excited to be in the Hollywood process, right? So I go to this building and I get in the waiting room and every actor there is jacked. Like fucking ripped and just
tatted up,
athletic, like how the description describes, but how you would actually imagine it to be.
Yeah.
And I made a joke to a couple of them. I'm like, I'm not supposed to be here. This is athletic, and they go, "Oh, it's different. It's good. Like you're different. You're gonna stand out from everyone. Like this is a good thing for you."
Those are some nice ripped guys.
Yeah, they were nice ripped guys. And I'm like, and I like convinced myself that it'll stand out. It'll be different. Maybe I'll have a chance.
I am shredded in my own way.
Yeah, like I'll have a chance. It is different. Maybe they'll realize, it'd be cool to get that guy in here.
Right, just like a guy before he starts UFC training. Like a guy when he just got the idea to maybe get in shape.
So that was my thought process. So I convinced myself that they were right. So then I'm waiting in line. There's literally a line outside the audition room of people going into audition, and there's a window on the door so you could see everyone's audition.
Well, that's weird.
It's weird.
Because a lot
to
of
this
times,
day, I've never had another audition
I've
like this.
never had that either.
Yeah.
A lot of times when you audition for something, you can hear them through the door.
Right.
That's the most. You could hear like their take on it.
Right. This one you could see and hear it.
Yeah, that's weird.
But you hear it through the door, so you can't fully hear it,
it's
but
a
you
little
hear
muffled.
it. So I see one after another, these guys go in. It's basically some like growling audition where they get up and they're excited about the match. They're like, yeah, take them down, like something like that, right? And they're doing it, and then the guy says, okay, now take off your shirt and do it again.
Right.
And I'm thinking, okay, I guess I'll take off my shirt. I'm like 10th in line. One by one, I see guys go in, take off the shirts.
Yeah.
I go in, I do it, and then he goes, thanks so much for coming and have a good one. Never asked me. I was the only one there. Didn't ask me to take off my shirt. Just sent me home.
You know what'd be better is like if you go, I can take my shirt off, and they go, you force the issue. You go, no, we're good.
We're good.
Oh yeah, because I can put it back on. It's not a big deal. I'm actually kind of hot. I'm gonna take my shirt off. No, sorry, you can keep it on. I'm just gonna take it off. Just
at least let me just
for you guys
show
to
you
have
a peek.
just to have an option.
The worst part was too, at the time I was in this groundlings class, and there was this guy who I made friends with, and I said, hey, I got this audition, you should come sneak in and do it, because he didn't have a commercial agent or anything like that.
He got far. He did it.
He came in and did it. They told him to take his shirt off.
Hilarious.
So I got less far than a guy who wasn't even supposed to be there at the audition.
It'd be funny. You come in after him. You go. You told him to take his shirt off.
You don't think he's supposed
I'm
to
watching
be
through
here.
the window.
I got him there.
I can see and hear you ask all these guys to take their shirt off, and you don't. You didn't even ask me to lift my shirt a little bit. It doesn't even come all the way off.
So that was my.
You know what's odd about commercial acting is, I had this one audition and just how preposterous the industry we're in, especially commercial acting, where literally my whole day was just driving to Santa Monica, parking, getting there, and this is the commercial audition. I'm in there. I have like a cart. I have like a fake cart, or no, I do have a cart, and then I have like fake newspapers because I'm pantomiming. So I'm pantomiming, just sliding newspapers under a hotel door.
Okay.
So I have a
I
cart.
could see you at that.
So they go action, and I like bend down, slide it, and then I go to the next room. I slide it, and then I'm supposed to pick up a newspaper, but it's like a smart pad or like a I'm supposed to be kind of intrigued by it, and then I slide it under the door. No words. I do that 3 times, and then I drive home. And I'm an adult. I'm a grown man. And this isn't just, I'm not an outlier. This is hundreds, if not thousands of people doing
Oh,
that.
yeah.
That's an industry.
That's a whole business.
It's a whole business.
That's how T.J. Miller made it in Hollywood.
A lot of commercials, yeah.
He did a shitload of commercials. I mean, that's what his big start. We're going to take one call, and then we're going to end the podcast. It's from Disraeli Ellison.
Some of the ins and outs. What are
Oh, wait. Let me start that over.
So what, did they call in already, or is it
Yeah,
live?
it's a voicemail. Voicemail.
some of the ins and outs? What are the
What the heck?
things I need? All right. Basically, I'd like some advice on how to produce a series of short stories. Some of the ins and outs. What are the things I need to prepare for? What do I need to know? My budget, for example. Do I get my budget before I shoot, or is I get it from the script? How do I come up with my budget? What's the best way to do a call sheet? Storyboard. Is there a particular technique? Do I find someone to draw stuff, or can I take pictures and use pictures to make a storyboard? Just some advice on producing a series of short stories, basically producing projects. That's it. Thank you.
Is that for me or for us
That's for you.
specifically?
No, he didn't know who he was calling. He knew he was calling into a comedian.
I mean, that's. Let's see. How do you know that I would even know that though?
Well, if you're a good comedian, you would know
There
that.
are comedians
Have a
who
good
don't
experience.
produce shorts and stuff.
Well, then they're not good.
Really?
No, I don't
George
know.
Wallace? He doesn't do that
I bet he's done that.
in the past. Yeah. It sounds pretty involved what he's doing. He makes it sound like he's doing like a Hollywood
do you need the
short
budget
film.
first? Yeah, you need the budget first.
He's talking about call sheets and stuff.
Okay, let's take a different call. This is
Well, hold on. I mean, if you
Okay.
listen, this is the broad strokes version. I think to get started, you don't need to be. You're asking a lot of high-end questions. Like this is a very high-level stuff you need to think about. You're almost asking like, who should I hire for craft services? You know, like if you're trying to go zero, maybe go 0 to 20 or 0 to 10 instead of 0 to 60.
Right.
Because you're thinking like Spielberg terms already.
Right,
Why
that's
don't
true.
you get somebody with some nice equipment, some buddies who are down to shoot? Maybe there's a cinematographer, or if not, just learn by doing.
Right.
And then maybe you'll get to the point where a production company or all that stuff comes way down the line. Like I started making comedy shorts just by myself, and I would tell the person where to shoot.
That's
and
true.
And you learn on the job and on the fly, and
That's good advice. Yeah, you don't need. I
Yeah,
mean, even storyboarding.
You're putting
which
the
is
cart before the
everyone
horse.
says you should do. It's like I don't know many first timers
who are
have
storyboarding. Like, look, if you're like Guillermo del Toro and you've got this vision of like, no, I want him to be in the top left corner and it'll be sunset. If you're like that, okay. But if you're asking, how do I? You don't need to do that. Just make sure you have coverage. Like, okay, we need a shot of him entering. Let's get a medium shot of that. Let's do a wide shot of that. It depends what you're trying to do. Storyboarding is for more like calculated, like Tarantino shots where it's almost like a painting.
I agree. These things that are issues, like if you need storyboarding, you'll find out right away. Okay, next time I need a storyboard
like
for
if you're being super cinematic and it's almost like a French film or something.
You'll say, I should have budgeted for sound. You'll learn things as you go.
Sure, but like think about Always Sunny. They're not like storyboarding that. That's
maybe produce your least favorite short story first. Maybe make that one first so you learn from it.
Yeah, also do something very doable. So maybe just do a sketch or whatever
one.
That's like 2 minutes long, 3 minutes long, because then you'll actually be able to finish it. Instead of, some people will type a whole movie out and it's like 120 pages. This will never get made and no one wants to read anything.
Right. No one's
Why don't you just do something shorter to show what you can do?
I agree. Let's take one more. Elizabeth Aziz.
My back is really against the wall here. I just don't know what to do. They've been cutting our hours at the salon, and I just can't get enough money together to pay the bills this month. I really don't want to let my family down.
This is a commercial audition?
What do you think I should do?
Yo! What the fuck is this? What do you mean?
Man,
oh my god!
I really didn't want it to
Dude,
get
is
to
this TaskRabbit and you just have people read bullshit?
I just don't know what else to do. My friend has been living at my house and just
do you do this with every guest?
kind of freeloading off of me now for 6 months. How do I get her to get up and get her own place?
The way she's reading it makes it sound like she's doing an Aleve ad.
I'm really afraid of saying the wrong thing to her.
My back's really up against a wall.
It's so bad.
In the past, I used to take Advil, but one Aleve.
What if I was really casting for something? She would never get it.
You like how I'm trying to figure out, like, this sounds phony as shit. And it wasn't. I didn't call bullshit. Take two.
Take two.
Take two.
It was so bad.
So hold on, the first guy too?
I'm not going to say.
Of course so. And also, he had a lot of mouth stuff going on too. Like, it was almost like he was like an R&B guy.
Take one more.
He's like, that doesn't even. He's like, like you got a storyboard. Dude, this is like the end of a movie where everything's making sense. Now I'm like,
this one's real, Aaron Michelle.
Yeah, right.
This one's the real one.
I'm wondering how I can deal with my mother's mental illness and how I can learn
Is she in a fucking bathtub?
to not take her anger and the awful things she says to heart where it negatively affects me for a long period of time after having any kind of interaction with her.
I legit think she was in a bathtub recording that. Because it sounds echoey. You could hear water dripping.
It was echoey and water dripping.
Who does she think she is?
I think she did it on the phone, so she didn't realize it would pick up all that.
Yeah, we know. I'm a good detective, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Like if we're trying to figure out the killer, it'd be like,
well,
she's in a bathtub.
I had a mentally ill mom, abusive mom myself.
Have.
Yeah. And but most people, don't believe me when I say it.
Uh-huh. Wait, have I met your mom?
I think you have. Yeah,
Okay.
maybe. I can't remember.
I think most recently I bumped into your dad and your mom.
Yes.
In downtown.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were getting ice cream.
Mm-hmm. You were too, or they were?
I think they were just walking by.
You were getting ice cream.
Yeah.
That's
Me
sweet.
and the boys were getting ice cream.
And I would say the best thing to do is keep your distance.
From your parents?
Yeah. Or from your mentally ill parent.
Interesting.
That's me personally.
Right.
What would you say to do?
I guess if it becomes too much of an impedance on your life or it's very, very toxic, it's like bob and weave. Help when you can, but then distance when it's too much attacking.
A lot of people don't have any relationship at all with their parents.
That's tough though, man. Like
I'm not saying to do that.
I love my family so much. Family's so important to me, and like, I don't know what that's. There are people who don't have that, and I know not every family is perfect. Some people need to do that by necessity. That has not been my life, so all I know is like a strong family unit, and like that's what I would like to provide eventually down the line and all that stuff. So yeah, I don't know the personal strife and struggle of that type of situation. It sounds tough. So I mean, I wish I can't even offer advice because I don't even know. I can't navigate that. I wish I knew. Well, actually, I don't wish I knew. Like I'm just.
Fahim is too scared to give you advice.
Well,
You're too scared of
how
messing
would
it
I
up.
even know? It's
Too
almost
scared.
being like, hey, Fahim, how do I how do I make my curveballs curve more?
You could guess.
All right. Whip your arm more.
See there? That's probably right.
All right. Oh, so you just want me to... all right, cool. You want me to give her, like... She has a mentally ill mom, and I don't know anything about this, but I should just offer some advice?
Yeah.
And
And I think whoever called Aaron, you should take this advice. I mean that.
Totally. Just, I would talk to your mom. And then... yeah, I don't know. I guess try to be a good daughter when you can, but if she pushes you too much, then... I don't know, just act accordingly. Give what you get. But don't fight fire with fire. If she's like coming at you toxic, understand that it's because of this other thing she has no control over. So don't wind her up because she doesn't know any better like you do. So, yeah.
Yeah, just treat her like a sick little duckling.
I guess try to have a good relationship when you can. And when you can't, just be understanding. And if it's too much, just back off a bit and take the time you need.
That's good advice.
Yeah.
Really good. Anything you want to plug while you're on here?
Oh, so much, dude. I have a podcast too. It's called Fahim Anwar Dance Hour.
Love it.
Yeah, Fahim Anwar Dance Hour. And then I have a 1 hour special. I think it's on Prime now. It's called There's No Business Like Show Business. So that's the 1 hour stand-up special. And then GOATFACE, we did a sketch special for Comedy Central. I think you can get that on Prime too.
Oh, I know.
That's called it's called GOATFACE. And then just, you know, on social at Fahim Anwar.
And I could tell you firsthand, most of the stuff he just named is pretty good stuff.
That's nice. Thank you.
No, all of it. It's great.
Thank you, man.
Check out Fahim. He's one of my favorites. And you'll be seeing him in your city soon. So look for his schedule too.
Check
for
me out
stand-up. He's a really
when
good,
I come there.
really good comedian. Beloved.
Yeah, I'm trying to do more tour dates. I'll be in Montreal, Dublin, Amsterdam, and London this summer.
Shit.
So
World traveler.
Mr. International, baby.
He's you know, he already knows this, but he's an underrated comic who I think should be selling more tickets than he does.
Well, that's nice. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's actually not underrated. Everyone knows. Everyone who sees him knows he's just not as well known.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a timing thing.
He's just a fucking nobody.
I'm a nobody. I'm an almost nobody though.
Almost nobody.
Yeah. I've got potential to be a somebody.
Yeah. He's a somebody.
You know what it is? I think I'm you know, whatever, close and all this stuff. Sometimes there'll be really, really talented people, but it takes a certain lightning rod moment or for everyone to kind of discover what's already there. I need the thing that'll swing the light to the body of the work, you know?
And I think this is going to be it right here.
This is the program.
So congratulations. Welcome to Hollywood.
Oh, thanks, dude. This falls down. There's a bunch of producers and like, we're ready for your close up. I'm like, now?
Thanks for doing it. See you guys.
Thanks for having me.